Hey everybody, it's Mark from the Crystal Chronicles, your Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast. We bring all your news and talk to you every single week, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Twitch and YouTube, streaming on your favorite podcast apps, and also Twitch and YouTube video on demand. We will not be having a podcast tonight, March 3rd, here in the United States. We have some personal things that need to be attended to, and so I appreciate your patience and understanding. We will be back next week, so enjoy my Leila Pull video and a little bit of talk about hashtag Stop the Cap. But let's talk about Leila. Leila is super strong, and she's now with Ignis as opposed to Vanille, so this is a great banner if you don't have either, if you are chasing Gilgamesh's BT, an even better banner. But if you're not aware, Leila has an aura that allows all enemies to lock on her without applying the lock debuff, which is a unique mechanic that she shares alone. She then evades attacks with 100% evasion and immediately counters by battering and healing the party, and brings herself and the party members straight up to the next action, which means she's pretty broken, but definitely not a must-have, but as close to a must-have as anything in this era. She's just one of those characters like Sid Reigns that just does everything. She has all kinds of party support. She does decent damage. She just springs. She's got thunder damage, so she pairs well with Garnet. Why not? You know, she just does what she needs to do. So whoever, you know, whatever the dev, you know, Cheryl, who's like Sid Reigns and Locke and Leila, whenever Cheryl gets a turn at character kid, it ends up a little too broken. I don't know. Cheryl's somebody's kid. You know, Cheryl's got some dirt on somebody. I don't know. We could use your help, Cheryl. Stop the gap. Stop the cap. Cheryl, get on team player. Team DFFOO community. We'd really help that. So good luck on all your polls. Let me know how you did. Like, sub, ring the bell for notification. You can become a member for 99 cents. Get a whole bunch of emotes, priority chatting, and special Discord channels, and exclusive videos, all that kind of stuff. Hey, what a great deal for $1 a month. Really appreciate all of you who do support us. Let's talk a little bit more about Stop the Cap. So we've been starting this hashtag Stop the Cap, referring to the purchase gems cap that's going to be happening here in less than 20 days, in about 19 days from recording this video, where we will no longer be able, if you are like myself, to buy anything in the game whatsoever. Not only just gems, but you can't buy a Moogle pass. You can't buy a Moogle pass. You can't buy costumes. You can't buy any packs that give you anything that you might want. You might be able to do Kupo cards, but again, most of us are not buying for gems. We are buying to support the game. And there's just a lot of garbage floating around. But listen, when pretty much all of the major content creators, I mean, I'm pretty sure every well-viewed content creator, any content creator with 500 or more subs has released a video or a statement about this, being completely against it and saying how much this is going to hurt the longevity of the game, because it's, hey, Igni, I already have this. It's going to prevent us who do support the game from spending resources. And so you can check out all those videos. We talked about it on length on last week's podcast. You can check that out if you haven't. But yeah, there's still a lot of conversation about people with just kind of their head in the sand. Well, this only affects hoarders. This isn't our problem. It's not a free-to-play problem. First of all, who do you think supports the game? Because there ain't no ads in this game. So the people who spend money are the people that keep this game alive. And yes, there's a couple different types of whales, and I think this is important. In a lot of mobile gacha games, there's a major type of whale who has no resources, and they pay to pull. You pay money until you get the unit you want. FFRK days, man, there were a lot of pay-to-pull whales. A lot of other gacha games I've played, pay-to-pull whales. Now, there's other games where you can whale them differently, but I'm talking about just kind of the gacha games, character collectors, weapon collectors, etc. You're paying to pull what you want because you don't have a ton of resources, and you need to do that. DFFOO, being the most generous gacha ever conceived by humans, is not pay to pull. Now, yes, I know one person, and all of the whales, all of the people who spend a lot of money on this game, I know one person. I have over 1,000 people on my Discord. Several thousand of you watch the podcast on various different medium, right? I know one person who is that pay to pull person who, and I think they're well over, 100,000 gems, even higher at this point. But generally speaking, this person was at 0 gems and bought the gems they needed to pull all the characters, try to get all the characters. So those people do exist. And in most gachas, yes, they would be the major driving force. But for that one person I know like that, I know dozens, perhaps even well over 100 people who are like me and just support the game even though they don't need gems. Because if you're going to talk about hoarders, remember, you can be a free-to-play player with 2 million gems, and we know several. We certainly know quite a few free-to-play players with over 1 million, certainly with over 300,000 free acquired gems. So this is not just a problem for a small group of people. This is a problem for everyone. Well, hey, there's the LD. Let's go into the fight, and I'll keep talking. So I'm going to be bringing Leila, Ignis, and Gilgamesh. I do not have his BT, but I think the 3 of them are going to be fine. I'll bring a Garnet friend, just do a little extra damage there. This is going to be super easy because the orb is you need to evade, but the orb is non-lethal if you evade it, and also have damage reduction, and also have Iggy in his stance, which prevents debuffs. So you can just watch me basically ignore the entire fight. I'm not really ignoring the mechanics. I'm countering the mechanics, right? I am countering the mechanics, right? I'm not ignoring the mechanics. There's a difference. It makes me feel better. Doesn't have to make you feel better. But anyway, so this idea that the vast majority of people who support this game are these pay-to-pull players is ridiculous. It just doesn't meet the experience that those of us who are kind of like every single content creator is on the same page of this, and the vast majority of them are people like me who have near or over 300,000 paid gems because they support the game. And they have a lot of resources because they support the game. They enjoy the game. They love DFFOO. They want it to continue. And so it's ridiculous. I mean, that's the vast majority. And so I assume, and Mino did a great write-up on this. Go to Reddit, read that full write-up. He did a lot of research into other gachas, what Squex is doing. Yeah, people are saying this is some legal garbage. No, that's ridiculous. If it was legal, it would be across all gachas. Or this is a Squex policy, a Team Ninja policy. It's not across all Squex games. It's not across all Team Ninja games. So, you can keep speculating. We've done the research. There's only one other Squex game where this is the reality, and that is Dragon Quest Tactics. Guess what? The paid cap is 300,000. Guess what? Dragon Quest Tactics is the most successful gacha game in the Square catalog. And so, very likely, our assumption at this point is this is some division. Squex is shot into all kinds of different divisions. Some division executive, some division head said, hey, this is working in this game, or hey, let's try an experiment on 2 games, our best and worst selling game, who knows, and we'll see how this works. And Team Ninja can't do anything about it. The Squex, the DFFOO team can't do anything about it. Squex, Joshua, and Crystal can't do anything about it. They're just the communicator. They're the PR people, the community managers. Squex Crystal does a lot of help desk stuff, right? They can't do anything about this. And so we're not picking on them. And we hope that by constantly, every time Squex tweets something, replies, stop the cap, keep this in the ethos, keep some videos, keep the conversation up so that they will respond, so that the community manager, Joshua, Crystal, that the dev team can say, hey, look, you are cutting off your own foot. They can take this to whatever dumb CEO, whatever executive, whatever division head said this is a good idea, we're going to do it. Whoever made the kind of quote-unquote policy, they'll be able to say, hey, this is really stupid. All of your content creators, which there's a vast number for such a small game, Hey, look, orb doesn't mean anything. Hey, an orb, it's meaningless. Welcome to garbage time. All of your content creators are on the same page. All of them are going to be prevented from spending. A lot of your big spenders are going to be prevented from spending. This game is so different. Over the last 4 or 5 years, GL in Japan, we've created a free-to-play friendly game, a resource-heavy game where you can pull all your favorites, optimize them, have a lot of fun, and yet people still spend money on this game. But now you're going to prevent them from doing that, and that is wrong. So yes, we're going to keep up this conversation. We're going to keep up this battle until something is communicated. It's been a week at this point of recording this video. It's been over a week, and there's been no communication. And again, I'm not putting that on Squex Joshua because he's only got so much he can do, right? I'm putting this on the organization, who has generally been pretty good to communicate stuff to us, but has not. And some people are saying, well, wait till the next Squex community stream. Well, listen, friends, this is live in JP, and you can check out videos from, if you, again, you got to separate the JP native community, the people who are actually in Japan who play the game, versus the global community who plays the Japanese version of the game. The English speaking or etc. Japanese playing version of the game, people from the actual JP community. If you dig in and actually search for things in the JP community, they're not real happy either. And there's several videos now from JP content creators who are like, I can't spend any money. I can't buy a Moogle Pass. I can't redeem my Moogle Pass. I can't get a costume. I can't buy any packs. I'm locked out from enjoying this game the way I want. I'm locked out from supporting this game. And they are commenting and they are upset. And there's been 2 Opes, their community streams, which are kind of like YouTube videos that they do twice a month. There's been no mention of this. And so waiting for something to happen is not a good idea, because it's come and gone in Japan with no fanfare, with no communication, no mention on their PR department, on their Squex community stream version, their Ope. So yeah, we're not going to sit and wait. We are going to be aggressive, and so I encourage you. Stop the cap, hashtag stop the cap. Continue to talk about it. If people are just, man, I was on Facebook, I should have been on Facebook. People are just idiots. They're just not thinking things through. They're not, oh, this doesn't bother me. It doesn't concern me. It will concern you when the game is dead. And if I can't spend money on it, listen, I was going to re-up my Moogle Pass. I always do every month. I get the premium pass. I was going to buy Gilgamesh's costume. I was going to buy Rem's costume. I was going to buy probably another high armor pack and another BT Plus pack. That's almost $300 I was going to spend on this game this month. You can say whatever you want about it, whatever. I made a lot more playing this game than I did spending this game last year. It all works out fine for me. That being said, I was going to spend that much money, and I'm not. I've said, no, I'm not spending money on this game. Most of the other content creators I know and most of the other whales I know, the people who do spend on this game, are done. We're not spending money until we get communication. So you're already going to see Squex take a hit. And yeah, it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy in that, hey, we're not spending, so the game's going to die. Well, that's how it is. Because the game is going to die if it doesn't change. We might expedite that. That's not our hope. Our hope is to get the attention of whatever dunderhead said that this was a good idea. Whatever, stupid suit who's completely disconnected from the game, the genre, the community, said, oh, this worked here, it should work there. Listen, I work in hierarchy and bureaucracy more than most people enjoy. Believe me, I work in a global institution that is connected in so many levels of hierarchy. It drives me crazy on a regular basis. And the left hand's not always communicating to the right hand, right? And every company is like that. Communication is the hardest thing to do when it comes to business, companies, organizations. It just doesn't always work very well. It takes a lot of work, and even then you're going to make mistakes. And so I get it. I get how this could happen. It's a bad decision. Defending Squex, you don't need to do that. They're not your friend. This was a bad call. So unless you're ready to come say, oh, this is why this is a good call, and you have definitive proof on how, because people just throw shit out there that's just has no basis in reality. Well, this is some law. What law is it? Well, this is some company-wide policy. Well, then why isn't it in all the other games? Well, this is... So come and talk to us about it, because obviously you haven't spent the time actually hearing the arguments, actually reading the work that we have done to show definitively this is a terrible idea. So I encourage all of you, don't spend, until we have resolution, until we have some kind of communication. This is why this is happening. This is what we're going to do to fix it. This is how we're going to make it okay so you can actually use your paid gems. This is how the game's going to change because of this. This is why this had to happen, etc. Don't spend, and then, just continue to bombard. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Don't be mean. Don't be aggressive. I make little fun retweets. I'll make comments every time they comment on Twitter. Hey, you're on the Squex community stream. But again, harassing Joshua and Crystal. If Joshua and Crystal don't have anything they can say, that's not going to change, right? Making their lives harder might help us, but probably not, right? But if we give them enough ammunition, enough of a united front that says, hey, listen, this is garbage. This is going to hurt the game. It's going to hurt the community. It's already hurt the community. I mean, man, there's just not been the same kind of fanfare. And maybe that's because this month's cycles and stuff was so much. But look this fight is so cool. This is the first of our major villain fights. Layla's super hype character. Gilgamesh is a favorite, Iggy on the banner, but there's just been no fanfare. And the Yuri banner was even worse. There was nobody on, nobody playing, nobody live streaming, very few videos that aren't talking about this, from the big content creators. So it's already hurting the community. I didn't even know the Yuri event was live because there was no chatter in my Discord, which is completely ridiculous. Usually before an event drops, there's all kinds of chatter, all kinds of discussion, all kinds of hype, and there was nothing. So it's already impacting the community. It's already impacting the game, and it needs to stop. Again, you want to come at us with some dumb random stuff that you heard on somebody else, whatever. Be willing to back it up. Be willing to say, hey, this is what I found. This is why I think, whatever. You're entitled to your opinion. But be willing. If you're going to come at us, whoever I'm talking about, be willing to come at us. Be willing to bring your work, do your due diligence, and say, oh, I think this is a good idea. Because guess what? When the entire DFFOO community, when it comes to content creators and major voices, are united in something, you might be on the wrong side of the conversation. So get on the right side of the conversation. #StopTheCap. Continue to put it in Squeck's face so that Joshua, Crystal, and all those devs and all the DFFOO team can bring it to whatever numbskull did this and say, this is not working already and it hasn't even started. We need to come back, reverse it. We need to have another plan in play. We need to communicate what's going on, and you need to communicate, Mr. CEO, why you thought this was a good idea to the community who you have already just completely shattered their trust, completely shattered their good faith after an amazing 4th and 5th year anniversary event. It could have been worse timing. It couldn't have been a bigger slap in the face than, coming off of a great 4th anniversary in JL, a great 5th anniversary in JP, and just come out with this ridiculous change in service. And then pretend like everything's okay. Well, that's the end of my conversation, the end of my rant. Love to talk about this more. We're probably not going to talk about it too much on the podcast besides we get more information. But again, podcast not this Thursday, the 3rd. We will not be doing a podcast. Have some personal things going on that need to be attended to. But we will be back soon. Join our Discord, like, sub, ring the bell for notifications. Become a member. Follow us on Twitch as well. Listen to us on your favorite podcast apps. Catch up on some old episodes. And we'll see you all next time.